Adding angles. After we've learned how to construct congruent angles, now we can add angles together. So we want to add two angles, or add some angles, after being given angle K and T, and we want to construct an angle R whose measure is equal to the sum of the measures of angle K and T. All right, so on our paper we need the given angles. We're going to do two acute angles here, but angle K is going to be a smaller measure than angle T. So everybody, let's construct, or excuse me, just draw an angle K, and here's angle K, and so it's a small, less than half of 90, and then we'll make an angle T that will be closer to 90, a larger angle there. Okay, something like that. Angle K and angle T. Everybody get those two angles drawn in your paper. One's a small acute angle, one's a larger acute angle. All right. And so if we're going to construct the angle R, we need a working ray. So move down, give yourself some room here. Move down and let's draw our ray with endpoint R. And I'm going to accentuate those points so they're easier to find in the compass. All right, so now we have our working ray. And here's what we need to do. When we're constructing a congruent angle, you put your favorite arc on the angle. And I will say from a worksheet earlier that we've done, when these angles are small, you definitely want a larger arc out here, not that little bitty. Don't use the inside here. Be sure you use the outside of our favorite arc. All right, so we're going to use our favorite arc on K, and you're going to put it all the way across angle K, both sides. We're moving to T, going to do the same thing across both sides. And we are also going to do our favorite arc at R. So you're doing your favorite arc 3 places. This has to be the very same arc. And by the way, this one needs to swing on around a little more into the obtuse because we're adding those two measurements, and we can pretty well see with our eyes that's going to be an obtuse angle. Okay? So we've taken our favorite arc. We arced it with center at K, center at T, center at R. Well, we have some intersections here. We've been calling these X and Y. But now we have another given angle, and it has two more. This time we're going to just call these A and B, because that's another pair. And here's our working, our construction where all our work is, and this one we're going to call what we've done before, we'll call it Z. Okay? So the next thing we want to do is, just like if I'm going to copy this angle here, I go and I measure from X to Y. So find X there and slide this to find Y. And then we're going to bring that to Z. So slide that down here to Z after measuring it very carefully, accurately, and we arc it off. And if all we wanted was angle K, we would be done. But we are now wanting to add to this, and where we're going to add to is at the end of that, not back at Z. At the end of that, we're going to add this arc from angle T. So we need to measure from A to B. A to B. This is a different measurement. And again, I'm not going to start it at Z. I'm going to start it at where I finished. And I'll just give myself a little point there to aim at with the center here. And this arc, I'll now crisscross on my favorite arc. Now you can see, here's angle K. There's the arc for angle T. And here's where we will finish our construction. The sum of angle K plus angle T. There you go. Okay, everybody see? Favorite arcs on all three. Measure the distance in across angle K, arc it off. Measure the distance across angle T, add it to it, and now we have the sum. All right? Now, one more idea. Multiplying angles. Multiplying angles. I want to multiply an angle so I will construct the measure of angle J, that's the one we'll be after, equals 3 times the measure of angle K. 3 angle Ks. Well, if I'm going to construct angle J, I need a working ray. So everybody, let's come down here and let's draw a ray so we can begin the construction. And that will be point J. Now, to construct a congruent angle, I need my favorite arc. And I need it on the original angle, and the given angle is K. And if I look at K right now, it already has my favorite arc on it. So I'm going to get my favorite arc. And if that were not there, I would arc it on it, but it is. And I'm going to bring that same arc down here to J. So I put my favorite arc on J. And I'll swing this on around into the obtuse because I don't know how large this will be. I got 3 of these to put on here. Okay. And just like in the last one, I've got X and Y at the top. I'm going to call this point Z. And we're going to go up to angle K and measure where? I'm going to measure from X to Y. Measure from X to Y very carefully and accurately. And bring it back down to the working ray here. And I'm going to do it how many times? Well, this says 3. So I'm going to do it 3 times. So here we go. Here's the first one. 1. And I'm going to give myself a point there. Move it up. There's time number 2. Give myself a point there. Move it up the 3rd time. And that is the final one because we just needed 3. And this angle is not a right angle, but it's just a little larger, isn't it? So I would say that angle K is just a little bit more than 30 degrees because 3 times 30 would be 90. And we've made an angle that's just a little more than 90. So that would do the math, okay? All right, so if we are multiplying an angle, you're going to put your favorite arc there and measure it on there multiple times. That's how you do it.